Welcome to a very mild Plymouth. It's time for the new potatoes and secondaries to get planted, and today is the day. You got me narrating this section because the wind got to me. I've got to the recording anyway. So I've set out all the tubers where they're going to be planted. They go on top of the soil with no dig, and then you cover with compost. If your tubers are too big, you can cut the tubers in half, leave them for 24 hours to callus over, and plant the halves. The ones I'm pointing to there, that's the Charlottes, and they were all too big, so I've cut them all in half, whereas the rest of the crops are whole potatoes, about the right sort of size. By cutting them in half, you're getting around having too few potatoes, because we order them in 2 kilogram bags. Of course, if they're all double the size of normal, you get half your money's worth. Well, cut them half, you get back to even again. As long as each half has got an eye, a sprout, a chit, whatever you want to call it, then that will work just fine. Now then, you'll see I'm applying the compost. It's not totally ready really, the compost. It's a little bit lumpy, a little bit of a way to go yet, but it's going to be covered up for a month. The warm weather should finish it off in situ, and to be honest with you, potatoes are the least fussy crop you can possibly imagine. So I'm just showing you to the camera now. The worms are in it as well. It really could have done with another month, but hey, we gotta go. I've speeded up the clip from now on. That way you get to see what I'm up to without having to suffer the entire episode in normal speed. So this process is as simple as emptying a compost heap onto the beds, burying the potatoes. This is the first of 2 applications of compost. It will be followed up by a 3rd application of grass clippings, as long as everything goes normal. The grass clippings will be there to exclude light, to keep the moisture in a little bit, and of course to add a bit more bulk for the potatoes to actually swell up underneath all this applications. Now then, once the compost is on, it's time to cover up. The black plastic is to exclude light, to absorb heat during the day, to trap that little bit of heat in there, and to keep any frosts off the newly emerging sheets. This will be fine for a month. Ignore the glass panels I put there really, because it's just to add weight to the actual plastic to stop it blowing away. It might be a small benefit, I don't really know. Also, I'm playing juggling with the plastic at the end there. Yeah, so this plastic stays on for about a month. The 2nd application of compost will go on, and then as soon as the shoots are really through that 2nd application of compost, then the black plastic comes off, and I will be applying a heavy duty fleece to keep the frosts at bay. The reason why we're trying to grow so early is purely the avoidance of blight. Blight can be expected on our little area from the 20th of June sort of thing. It's not anywhere near time for the plants to grow. So an earlier in, earlier out methodology works fine for me. This plot here is one of my allotment tier friends. He has planted up his entire potato already. Main crop the lot. They're all in. He doesn't use the plastic, and he does extraordinarily well. But it just shows how mild we are down where we are. Now then, let's move on to a disaster, shall we? This is Alfalfa, and these are Australian flatworms. A whole host of them. They've loved it under the black plastic. Bit of a disaster, so time to squish them. The second level of disaster is the alfalfa itself. It's an absolute devil. I will never use alfalfa again. In a no-day context, it's just not worth it. I'm having to really work at it in this section to actually remove the growth and try and provide a nice bed for the next year. It may well have great benefits once I finish this, but honestly, you know, compared with winter tares and field beans, this is hard work. I don't mind a bit of hard work, but not when I'm not entirely positive about the outcome. So yeah, this is the first and last time you'll see me with alfalfa. Right, onto the trial bed, and the winner was Back to Eden, and I'm going to try and fast track it. So what I've got in my hand here is mycorrhizal fungi bought in a packet. A lot of people swear by it for adding to the bottom of pots to give the root growth a good boost, but I'm going to try and use it in a different context here. I'm going to apply it to the soil first of all, then apply some very old wood chips down, as you will see in a minute. Apply another layer of these granules, and then more wood chips. I'll show you the process in a second, but if I just start with 3 old wood chips, these are off the path from my other plot. They're really well broken down. So the Back to Eden method means that you apply wood chips, and that is a slow build up of fertility over the years using just wood chips alone. However, I have found in the past on 2 particular trials with 2 wood chips, it just robs the nutrients from the soil. I really didn't get great results using Back to Eden. So what I'm hoping to get to is its superior use, because what I'm spreading here is essentially compost. It's in a glorious condition and just ripe for being planted into. It is 100% wood chips with a very small amount of weeds that I've added in, because you know, weeds will get blown in. So there we are, we've applied some really old wood chips to the bed. That's the base layer. I'm going to give another scattering of the mycorrhizal fungi once again, and then I'm going to apply even more of the wood chips. I have no idea if this is going to work. I've no idea if I'm dreaming, but I'm just trying to get a fast track on the Back to Eden method so that we can really see if it works or not. I don't know whether I'm just not if I'm being too hopeful of a good outcome, considering, you know, Back to Eden is definitely about the long-term benefits, not the short-term. Now what I'm putting on top here now is 2-year-old wood chips, so it's a little bit less broken down but still in a good condition, because I want to provide a good depth for the microbiology to get its teeth into. There's a few weeds you see going in again because it's off the path, but there we are, and that is basically it. I'm not going to apply any fresh wood chips on top, because I'm sure that will be detrimental to the bed, but you know, let's wait and see. Now then, the one thing I need to do is just keep it moist, because obviously all of this lot works very well under damp conditions. So a good little watering, and then I'll cover with plastic again, because I want to trap that moisture in, and I want to make sure that the perfect conditions are made. Give us the best chance we possibly can, and let's just see if it works. It's worth a shot in it, you know. Right, now for a little surprise. The top bed, the winter tear bed, I did mention that I would have to apply a little bit of compost, and I thought, well, let's try and do something a little bit different. So I've decided to take away the dead parts of the winter tears and apply seaweed neat, and let's see if that combination will give the rest of the different variations a run for the money. Now this seaweed is absolutely shredded. It's been ripped apart on the rocks. It's the last of the winter storm stuff. It's going to be interesting because I've never used it. It is a little bit late to be doing this, but let's see how it goes, eh? Yeah, always worth a try. So there we are. The beds are all done. All the choices are made, but I had a little idea, and that is, what about if I double dug this little section? I haven't done it yet. I'm a little bit shy of compost, but it may well happen if I've got time.